Hello, my wonderful classes. Um, Today I am coming to you wearing the mask that my daughter made. It is, if you can tell what I'm supposed to be a donut. That is what's going on here. I'm a donut. So I'm taking a little break from Sunday football so I can give you this video for those of you that want to retake the exam on Monday during office hours. Now, even if you don't plan on redoing it and you did okay, I still suggest you watch this, and I'll explain why during class on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, the part that made this tricky was that you may not have understood what the question meant by public policy. Now, most scholars don't agree on one definition of public policy. This is what came from the Project Citizen website. So, this is where you would find that information. All right, public policy, what is it? It's made in a response to an issue or a problem that requires an attention. It's what the government chooses to do about that problem. And they can make them a law or regulation. Okay. They do this on behalf of the public, supposedly not for themselves or some other place. Okay. It's to help find a solution to that problem. The governments make this solution. And it's an ongoing process to try to get a result. Okay, so that's what public policy is. Usually we think of it's a law relating to the public, but it's a little bit broader than just a law, so to speak. All right, now, there's a few main ways that public policy has advantages because of federalism. And you guys all know what federalism by now, right? You know that well. So one of the advantages is that states can make policy specific to their individual needs. They don't need a federal government to make a law that's the same for everyone, because there may be different problems in California, in Iowa, and New Jersey. All right, hopefully you recognize those states, right? There's probably different needs for, corn growers in Iowa than there is for a manufacturing business in New Jersey, or an area devastated by wildfires in California, right? They all have specific needs, and the states allow them to do this under federalism. Okay. Also, states serve as laboratories for democracy and as policy innovators. And this image sort of made me laugh. Like, think of this scientist, if you will, as the government, and he's injecting a public policy into the bottle of Iowa, right? And they're going to see, does this work? And if it does work, maybe this public policy would also be good for Idaho and maybe Washington, maybe even New Jersey and California, who knows, right? But it's sort of like a testing place, if you will. Good thing he's wearing his safety goggles. All right. Now, federalism and public policy. Here's another example. The federal government can establish uniform policy if and when necessary, right? Sometimes New Jersey and Iowa and California have very different needs, but sometimes they all need the same thing. Sometimes the federal government's like, listen, this is policy that you all need right now. You're all having problems with paying mortgages. You're all having problems with some sort of toxic fume, or who knows what it is. This is something you all can benefit. You're all going to benefit from wearing this purple V-neck sweater. So I'm going to give every state a purple V-neck sweater. Okay? Now, federalism and public policy. Here's another example. Multiple access points increase the likelihood of success in policymaking. That means we all have different access points. Sometimes our local government can help us find our solution. Sometimes our state government. Sometimes it's our federal government, right? And if we have access to all these different things, the way that, maybe we can get help here. Maybe we can get help here. Maybe we can get help here. It increases the likelihood that you're going to get the solution that you need. States can make is this the last one? Maybe not. States can make policy in the absence of a national consensus. So maybe like all the states can't agree on something, right? One state, we'll call this state Utah, wants to invade this ice planet, right? And another state was like, this is a bad plan. And another state's like, I love winter. And finally, like Utah's like, dude, we're just going to invade this ice planet by ourselves, right? The rest of the country, they can't agree on things, but we know what we want, right? So we see this examples. We did the federalism case studies. Ah, that's right. I said there might be one more. Also, federal government can still give you necessary resources this way, right? Um, we see this in the news a lot. We saw that the federal government is not giving California this disaster money for the wildfires. Um, we've seen, the conflict of President Trump giving paper towels to the people in Puerto Rico after the hurricane, right? But generally speaking, the federal government has access to give resources to states when they need to. All right, so those are just some of the advantages of federalism when it comes to public policy. Now, I normally tell you guys what I'm reading at the end of these videos. I am currently reading the writings of John Adams, and I am reading a letter he wrote where he was a big advocate of the the freedom of the press, and saying the best way to control tyranny is to have that freedom of the press. And there's some really good quotes in there, but I'm going to save them for class because it was a really powerful piece. So keep reading, keep watching the news, and let's keep discussing. So see you soon. Hope this helped. And I'm going to no longer be a donut.